Hi everybody, welcome to the next episode of Medieval Dynasty. We're playing the full release and we're up to the point where we need to talk to Uniegost. We were going to enter his house, but he appears to have done a runner. Where's he off to? He's a quick walker, I'll give him that. Okay. Resume. Hey, Uniegost, you're looking at the proud house owner from the valley. And I'm back bearing beers. Well, we are in a tavern. A job well done indeed. All right, let me wet my throat with this amber goodness and start reminiscing. I knew Lordan for 22 years before he died. He was my best and truest friend, a brother actually. I remember I remember the day we met as if it was yesterday. I was 25 at the time, living in the big city of Jellenberg, where I was born. You could say I hated that place, but still, it was the only home I ever knew. Maybe someday I'll tell you more about that. Anyway, I was forced to take care of my own. So I did, doing the only thing I could do, stealing. You were a thief. I was, and a bloody good one if I might say. Picking pockets was my bread and butter. I could steal a piece of steak right from under your fork, and you wouldn't even notice. It wasn't greed that motivated me, just survival, but I'd be lying if I didn't enjoy the process. Stealing is still a crime, no matter the motivation. I'd say you'd want to wait and hear a bit more before getting all high and mighty on me. I'm sorry, go on. We had an annual festival at Jellenberg. It always brought a whole bunch of outsiders to town. You can imagine what that meant for a man in my profession. I could do a day's worth of work in a matter of minutes. I grabbed a few coins here and there, some jewellery, a pair of new boots, and then I saw a nobleman with a money bag strapped to his belt. It was basically begging to be set free. I sneaked behind him in the crowd like I did 1,000 times before, child's play. I gently grabbed the pouch, did a little shimmy magic, and there it was, sitting neatly in my palm. Just needed to turn around and disappear like always, and then, wham! What happened? I was punched in the face by what felt like a bull, and I was so shocked I didn't even realise what happened until I hit the ground. My head was pounding. I could barely see straight. And do you know what was the first thing I saw next? Another blow coming? No, a smile, a big radiant smile on the face of the man with two different eyes. It was your Uncle Lordan, the one I took for a nobleman. He stuck his hand out, helped me get up, and offered me a beer. Wait, he did realise you were trying to rob him, right? Of course he did. I don't get it. That's just how Lordan was. You see, your uncle was deadly clever. Smartest man I'd ever known, hands down. He could see the world like nobody else, predict things. He was always at least a dozen steps ahead of anyone else. So on a rare occasion that someone surprised him, he was intrigued. And he wasn't expecting you. Indeed, apparently, even despite my failure, I was still the one that came the closest to robbing him, and he liked that. So I'm guessing you accepted his invitation, right? I didn't really have a choice, did I? I was terrified of the guy at that moment. So we went. He took me to the most expensive and most crowded tavern in the whole town. Remember that it was the day of the festival. Even entering that place was next to impossible. He didn't seem to care though. In the matter of seconds, we were sitting at a table being serviced by 2 barmaids at the same time. It was surreal. In my mind, there was only one explanation. He owned the place. And did he? Not at all. It was his first time in Jellenberg. It all felt like a dream, to be honest, especially with me still being dazed after the punch. I was still sure he was a nobleman. His manners, his clothes, the way he talked and moved, and then he chugged the beer like it was a race, wiped his face with a sleeve and burped like a drum. He went from the Lord to the savage, like that. I relived that moment a dozen times until I realised why he did that. It wasn't a mistake. Oh no. No laziness, no moment of weakness. He wanted me to see it, to understand it. Understand what? That he was full of crap. You see, Razimir, your uncle was one of a kind. He was a true master of arms, and his weapon of choice was his confidence. What does that even mean? Imagine a closed door with 2 armed guards at its sides, and you want what's inside. What are your options? You can force yourself in, bribe the guards, try to pick the lock, but Lordan, he just holds his head up high, walks right in and demands the door to be open. You were right, it all sounds surreal. I never knew that about my uncle. My mother's stories were quite different. Because I'm afraid she knew quite a different Lordan than me. Than anybody in the pack. Wait, pack? Oh dear, Razimir. There's so much more you still don't know. Our story hasn't even really begun. But it's getting late. Come on, you can't just leave me hanging like that. Alright, I'm going to tell you a bit more. After that beer we had a couple more. Then some mead, if I remember correctly. We were talking about our past, our dreams, convictions. Started making some drunk and absurd plans. I thought we were joking, to be honest. The next thing I remember is waking up in silk sheets. I'm guessing they weren't yours, correct? Are you kidding? It was the first time I even touched fabric like that. The ceiling in the chamber was so high, it could fit a giant. I thought I was dreaming. Then the servants walked in. I was ready to flee. But instead of fighting me, they presented me with breakfast. Really? How come? It was all Lordan's doing. I never found out how he managed to pull it off. Whenever I asked, he just burst into laughter, even years after. Needless to say, I left Jellenberg with him on that day. The first time I went outside the town's walls. And I never came back. That was the day the pack was born. And 3 years later, there were 5 of us. A real team. A family. We called ourselves the Reminders. Oh boy, I wish I could have been there. It all sounds incredible. I've never had adventures like that, and probably never will. Easy, my boy. It wasn't always fun and lovely, but it's a tale for another time. It really did get late, and I'm sure you still have a lot of work to do. Come and find me tomorrow. We'll talk some more. I'll do that. Thank you, Uniegost, for everything. Well, quest updated, Uniegost story. I thought his wife could talk, but gee, he can babble on a bit as well. Let's just check the journal. She's still leaning against the counter. Right, Uniegost story. So, life is much more exciting. Blah, blah, blah. Continue tomorrow. Maybe I ought to get some rest. At least get something to let me sleep at all. Okay. Wait for the next day. But I'd like to get this out of the way while I'm here. So, let's go talk to Jeregniwa. I'm never going to get that name right. Let's go find her, unless she's in bed already. She's going this way, so time will tell. Is she up there? Must be. Or maybe not. Is that her? Ah, yes, it is. Jeregniwa. Hello. Hello, Jeregniwa. Jeregniwa. Hello, you. I've been sent by Dobraniga. What for? I've heard that you are the one that supplies rye to the tavern. Is that right? So? I'm sorry. Is this not a good moment? Forgive me, I didn't mean to be rude. I'm just dealing with some personal issues. I don't want to intrude, just wanted to ask about the rye situation. Unfortunately, we won't be able to provide the rye this time. The crops are all diseased and pretty much unusable. As if I didn't have enough problems already. But don't worry, I ordered a delivery of rye from Rolnica, sorry. He should be here yesterday, actually. Don't know what happened. Nadar is usually very prompt. Maybe you could go see him and check if everything is all right. That's what I'm going to do then. Take care. So, Dobraniga's story's been updated. I can't see where I'm walking, so I better... Oh, sorry, lady. I didn't mean to set you on fire. Well, this is going to be a long, dark road home. Let me just check out the journal. So I've got to talk to Nadar. Disease crops. Right, okay. So Nadar is in Relinica. Way over there. Well, not going there tonight. We'll just make our way home, I believe. Let's just fast forward this. Right, well, I'm just going to go get a drink of water. And I'm just wondering if we've got a rabbit. Have a look on the map. I'll mark the rabbit trap by double clicking. And we'll head off in that direction. It's under that tree, I believe, if I remember correctly. And looks like we've got a rabbit, so we better collect it. And arm the trap again. Excellent. Now, I think we'll, I wonder if we actually, when we collect a rabbit, I don't think I've actually collected a rabbit before. I might be lying there. Yeah, it's just the meat. There's all their potions. Do they weigh very much? No, they don't. 2 meat. I reckon we might cook that and just eat it now, so that when we wake up in the morning we can just go straight away. So we'll light the fire and then craft. Oh, idiot, I wanted to do 2. Let's just do it again. Very good. Bring up the inventory. Go to the food, which we're at already. Where's our roast meat? There it is. Eat 2 of those. Have a bit of dried meat. That'll do us. We'll go to sleep. Probably end the video here, I think, because otherwise it's going to be too long by the time we get to Rilinica. So, old habits die hard. So it's good night, John Boy. Oh, this is different. Sleep till the next season. Or sleep till the next day. Well, we don't want to sleep till next season. So why would you want to sleep till the next season? I'm not sure. Okay, we'll sleep till the next day. Good night, John Boy.